Hi, Carlos. I
Hi,
hope you're
Vijay.
good. And today we are here, and thanks for accepting us in this particular quick sort of a video testimonial. This is a huge motivation for the team, and this also helps us bring a bit of sort of acknowledgement on publicly as well. So we are going to make it quick, simple. And the first question which I want to ask you is, please tell me about yourself, what you do, and sort of what got us involved into.
Good. We are an AI company. Company name is Aclaro. We're an AI company. We specialize in automotive, finance, and government work. So our job is to use artificial intelligence to help solve problems that other people have not been able to do fairly quickly. So we are in the business of detecting things like tax fraud or sales going missing, or trying to match when somebody is going to potentially default on a loan. So we use data from the transactions to learn about the transaction, try to figure out how people are going to behave in the future. We have a fairly complex set of algorithms that you need to always put a front end to it to make sure more humanized, so people can see it. We have a whole application in the automotive side that dealt with recommendation, what kind of vehicle you may want to buy, what kind of financing you want to have, what kind of service you want to have on the vehicle. Having a set of APIs and having a set of algorithms that work very well, they need to have a front end, and we picked Salesforce as one of we implemented 3 or 4 places. We implemented Salesforce, we implemented React, we have something on Firebase, and just a regular Angular. We just wanted to just try out the idea of, we got these APIs, we need to put some front end in front of it. And we found out that we wanted to do it on Salesforce just to see how it would look and how it would, get this kind of a complex environment called Salesforce integrated with our data lakes to be able to bring data back and forth. And I have to tell you that we were very impressed with both the quality of the work and the speed of the work. Of the 4 teams that we have running, kind of doing a hackathon kind of thing, you guys were super fast, and you got there much faster than anybody else. Very impressive. So I'm super happy with the result. And phase 1, we're happy with phase 1, and 2 and 3 are coming up pretty soon.
Glad to hear that, and especially on the speed of delivery. So going back to like the very beginning, and how did you found us, and what was your initial expectation? And I'm quite sure, starting working from a very starting point, working with needs to do help, we need to have some trust build up and some initial image building and performance building. So what was your initial thought, and how did you found us?
Well, what we did is we use Fiverr and we use Upwork. We believe on a remote workforce. We have some pretty good teams that we work with. We have offices in Miami, in Chicago, and in New York. So we have the metropolitan areas for the U.S., but we do believe that the ability for us to get resources across the world is important to us. And we normally have some, you got out of 10 contacts, 9 are really good and 1 is kind of a bust. So you kind of learn how to deal with things, and you always start with little small pieces to make sure, do I have the right fit? Does it make sense? Once it makes sense, then you can go pretty fast. I have to say, you guys are probably the most professional team that I have ever worked with in the Upworks and Fiverrs of the world. I mean, you guys really got it going on. I mean, reminds me a lot of when I was a consultant 20 years ago. The ability you guys run the team, the ability to go to meetings, the ability to really understand the problem, get the certifications. It was a fresh breath air, because a lot of times, sometimes you have some very good resources, But my God, you have a lot of yahoos that just code, and so they don't get what we're trying to do. So there's a lot of times we spend a lot of time saying, this is not going to work. As soon as my first week with you guys, that these guys really have it going on. They really know what they're doing, and I was very impressed. So I gotta tell you, you guys are the most impressive group that I work with in the past 3 years from those kind of resources. So I'm very happy to have you guys.
And thanks for such a fabulous word, Carlos. Ultimately, see, even my slogan is like your success, your client's success is your success. So we try to keep first ensuring that, okay, whatever we are delivering is good enough, has those sort of set of completion agendas. Although probably the entire project is like close to completion or it's close to launch, but what we recommend is what we wish is, with all our heart, best of luck, and in future we would request you, or even like in this continuous engagement, we would request more and more work. So ultimately I would request a final sentence from your end. Would you recommend us, me and Cloud Analogy, to other people?
Absolutely. I think you guys in the Salesforce side, I have done some work with Salesforce people. You guys are up there, very much up there. And we kind of share the same thing with that you do. We are software as a service. We're as good as our last gig. So therefore we understand it. We don't sign contract 36 months out with, tremendous upfront. Is every month we have to earn our keep, because we want our customers to understand that if they're successful, we're successful. We do not want to be in a position where you don't want to be in a position where somebody's just carrying you because of the contract. You want to be able to perform all the time, and we like that. I think that we get better, and we always try to come up with better ideas, better ways to do things. And I do think that you guys on the Salesforce side, I'll recommend you to anybody who wants to do Salesforce work. And I have done quite a bit of work on Salesforce, and I was a little leery. I'm going, gee, how's this gonna work? This is not coding a website or just doing some optimization of a database. This is a little more complex. And you guys just batted it out of the park, as Americans say. So I'm very happy to have found you, and I know we'll be doing more business in the future, and I highly recommend you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you for this awesome recommendation, this entire testimonial, and I'm glad to have this awesome success story. Thank you so much.